Well, I know what you're thinking. All will become clear later. That's a Colin the Caterpillar cake that my friends bought me for my birthday the other week. But I was sat here again, minding my own business, and a tweet popped up on my timeline, and I looked at it and I thought, you cannot be serious. You really cannot be serious. Now, I'll read it to you, and then I'll just go through a couple of things. Colin Walker. China nears peak oil demand amid extraordinary EV sales. And then there's what those things are, they not kazoos, what they called. You know those things, those party plumbing things that you blow them out and they unroll and make a noise. So I've got a party hat on and a little emoji there, blowing one of these. Oh, what are they bloody called? It says a breathalyzer. Party blowers. Well, who'd have thought? What are those things that you blow into at parties? The party blowers. God, Baz. I don't know. A surge in the adoption of EVs will lead to crude consumption falling within 2 years. Proof that EVs are delivering the change they were designed to. Okay, so why Colin the Caterpillar? I've eaten his head, and he's still got more intelligence than Colin from the Climate Intelligence Unit, in my opinion. Why do you think that, Baz? You know, the guy's entitled to his opinion. Well, he is. But with everything that's going on, everything out in the news at the moment, everything that's going on in the news at the moment, he's either like Colin here, or he's ignoring it on purpose. And that's what I think these EV people do. They ignore. I've just been having a back and forth with a chap here on YouTube. Ignorance is bliss. That's all I can say. Hopefully I try to look at both sides. I try to point out lies at the moment. That's what I'm trying to do. But I know nothing about China. And I try not to be a hypocrite either. I know nothing about Chinese politics. And to be quite honest, now I've got some friends from Serbia, Hungary, Latvia, Albania. I'm starting to wonder what is the truth about everything. I can't profess to be an expert on the Chinese motor trade. I would consider myself to be pretty knowledgeable on the UK motor trade after 50 years in it. The Chinese motor trade, I don't know, but I can make an educated guess as to what's going on when I see what's happening all of a sudden. Things don't just go massive all of a sudden. Things don't just turn on the head all of a sudden, no matter where you are. And I'm sure you must agree with that. One thing that I've always trusted, and I hope I'm right, the Financial Times. Okay? I trust the Financial Times. I look at Colin's headline here from the Climate Intelligence Unit. China nears peak oil demand amid extraordinary EV sales. EV sales. A surge in the adoption of EVs will lead to crude consumption falling within 2 years. As far as I know, it's still the most polluted country, or one of the most polluted countries in the world. November 19th, 2024. XPeng's CEO says most Chinese car makers will not survive the next decade. Well, never mind them not surviving the next decade, if we go to the ones that have already gone. Since around 2018, the Chinese EV landscape has experienced a dramatic shakeout. Over 400 Chinese EV makers have ceased operations between 2018 and 2025. Now, I said this the other day, and yesterday I did a video on Fiskars and the chaos that Fisker going out of business and shutting down has caused some people. That's one. Fiskars are a fairly small operation in comparison. 400, and the way these Chinese are chucking cars out is just beyond belief. So 400 have gone since 2018. Well, what's happened to all those cars? Are they counted in the figures? What about the ones that were they scrapped? Were they registered and sold off cheap? I don't know what happened to them. So that's that. Then we get another headline. 400 Chinese EV companies ceased operations between 2018 to 2025. Only a few will dominate towards 2030. The Chinese electric vehicle EV boom has turned into a dramatic shakeout. Is there a date on this? April the 29th, 2025. Only a few will dominate towards 2030. The Chinese electric vehicle EV boom has turned into a dramatic shakeout. Around 2018, China had more than 500 EV startups registered. And as we've seen in previous videos, last week they were making garden tools. This week, they're making EVs. I mean, I don't know about you, but that doesn't really inspire confidence to me. These included everything from serious automotive disruptors to local government-backed ventures that never made it past the prototype phase. What do we mean by EV startup? In this context, it includes any newly registered Chinese company involved in the design, development or production of new energy vehicles, NEVs, including electric, plug-in hybrid and hydrogen cars. Many were speculative projects created quickly to benefit from generous state subsidies. Are you getting that? They weren't really going to make them, were they? They just got the subsidies and then went bang, no doubt. Often with minimal automotive expertise. Again, don't exactly inspire confidence, does it? You're going to jump into a car and go doing 70 mile an hour down the motorway in something that would have been a garden tool a few weeks ago. While a few had serious ambitions and advanced prototypes, the vast majority never got a vehicle on the road. By 2025, only around 100 of these brands remain active. Analysts from McKinsey predict that by 2030, fewer than 50 Chinese EV companies will survive. This is not just a story of collapse, but also of market maturation, consolidation, and strategic realignment. There you go. That shows you all the ones. Why are Chinese EV brands disappearing? China's EV startup explosion was fueled by generous subsidies, tax breaks and easy access to local production licenses between 2015 and 2019, according to the International Energy Agency. This led to an overcrowded market of more than 500 ventures, many lacking core technology, supply chains or scale. From 2020 onwards, the Chinese government began phasing out its EV subsidy program. Did they? This policy shift came just as the country entered a price war, led by aggressive pricing from giants like BYD and Tesla. The combination of reduced state support and brutal price competition proved fatal for many underfunded startups. Now those are examples that failed. I'll just cut that into the screen rather than reading it. The road to 2030, who survives? Only the strongest and smartest will remain. Brands like BYD, Sangan, SAIC, GAC Motors, Geely, including Zeekr and Lynk & Co, Neo, Xpeng, Zeekr, Li Auto, Leap Motors, Alto, Avatar, IM Motors, Xiaomi, Denza, part of BYD, Hosen Auto, Neta, Ceres, Chery New Energy and Jack Motors have the scale, capital and innovation edge. While up to 450 brands may disappear towards 2030, those that remain will be leaner, more strategic and ready for global leadership in maturing electric vehicles. Okay, so while up to, in 5 years, 450 brands may disappear, what's going to happen to all the cars that they've produced in another 5 years? 450 brands producing EVs. It just don't bear thinking about, does it? What's going to happen to the market? It's going to crash. All of a sudden, there's going to be these... You see, at the moment, EVs are no-brainers because they've depreciated so much. Now then you're going to get a segment in the EV no-brainers that are EV no-brainers because they're so cheap. I can't believe people are still buying Fiskars when they've gone out of business, but yet there's people still bidding on them. There were on motorway the other day, there was a Fisker. People have bid on it. If anything goes wrong with it, that's it. But they've still bid. How stupid are you? There's 18 on Autotrader. Autotrader are allowing them to be advertised on their platform, even though seemingly there are no updates. Once they stop, once they finish, you can't get them going again. There's a lady got one on her front garden. It's been there for months. She bought it. She tried to send it back. They went bankrupt. It's stuck outside her house. They couldn't get it going. It's outside her house. So that's just one company. Caused chaos. They're in the auction. Some of them were abandoned on the road. The dealer didn't want them on his premises. Probably wouldn't have been insured to have them on his premises. Who knows? He parked them on the main road, abandoned them on the main road until they got collected, and now they're being sold in an auction. What for? They should be scrapped. Come across this chap, the German entrepreneur. Now, I don't know who he is, but his headline caught my eye, which is what it's supposed to do, no doubt. Clickbait. Only 7 of 170 Chinese automakers will survive. Philip Rausch, June 17th, 2025. What day is it today? It's the 18th. The Chinese auto market is collapsing. A price war has been going on for years. Now it's exploding. What happened? In May, BYD drastically cut prices by up to 34% across 22 models. Competitors had to follow. The result? Stock prices are crashing, profits too. Even the Chinese government had to step in. Now this is interesting. Even the Chinese government had to step in. We've long speculated about consolidation in China. Now it's here. Today we look at what's happening in China and what it means for automakers and markets worldwide. There's a nice AI-generated graphic image of a BYD young lady samurai there. The price war turns bloody. BYD took the price war to the next level in May. Prices for 22 models cut by up to 34%. Chinese automakers discounting heavily within China. Now, why are the tariffs have gone on in the US and Europe? So why are they discounting in China? Everything's going down. Funnily enough, I can see the Tesla Model Y going up there. Foreign brands. The result in just 2 weeks, BYD lost over 20 billion in market value. 20 billion. Now, put that into perspective. As of the most recent exchange rates, June 2025, 20 billion, 15.7 billion Great British pounds. Last year, it cost the UK motor trade between 4.5 to 6 billion in discounts for all the EVs that were sold. Well, sold, I use the term loosely. But it cost them between 4.5 to 6 billion. BYD have just lost 15.7 billion. They could have funded the debacle, which was EV sales in the UK last year, 3 times over.